Good day, we are Aqua and this is our info video. To know H2O. As Sylvia Earle quoted, "There's plenty of water in the universe without life, but nowhere is there life without water," proves how crucial water is for us. It's actually one of the basic needs and is required by all life on Earth. Water dominates a majority of the space on our planet. It covers about 71% of the total surface area of Earth. From that 71%, 97.5% of Earth's water is salt. Over 99% of the remaining water is subterranean water or ice, and only less than 1% is fresh water. This limited source of fresh water, or what we call water scarcity, faces several of ecological consequences since many of the living rely on it too much.
Water sources are both critical for human and environmental health. Besides providing people, animals, and plants with water, it also plays a significant role in different element cycling, especially when moving elements aquatic environments from terrestrial to land base. Given the water has a significant role in elemental cycling, it proves that water moves from one earth sphere to another. The movement of water through the earth can be understood as a water cycle. The water cycle is significant to itself and have a direct influence on Earth's ecosystem.
The first step is the evaporation. About 85% of the water vapor in the air falls from the evaporation of the ocean, and the remaining is derived from evapotranspiration. Second step is condensation. Now the atmosphere has water vapor, which condenses water vapor into water droplets. Third step is runoff and subsurface flow, where water goes back to the bodies of water.
Anthropogenic effect. It is the environmental change caused or influenced by people either directly or indirectly. It is also called as human impact on the environment, which includes changes to biophysical environments and ecosystems, biodiversity, and natural resources caused directly or indirectly by humans, including global warming, environmental degradation such as ocean acidification, mass extinction, and biodiversity loss, ecological crisis, and ecological collapse. Next is withdrawal. Number 1. Relocating water from rivers, streams, lakes to provide supply and irrigation to our farms and crop fields. Number 2. Harvesting water, mainly fresh water from natural reserves in order to distilled or purified into drinking water. Number 3. Isolating significant amounts of water in order to be utilized in numerous industrial and commercial activities.
The other way that we can affect water and the water cycle is through discharge. Frequently and constantly, we add artificial substances to natural water pathways. Intentionally or not, we release and dispose these substances into rivers, lakes, and even in the ocean as part of our common daily activities. We notably release pollutants into these pathways that can affect the water cycle and also ecosystems that the water goes through. We can also affect water and the water cycle through indirect ways, which involve our human activities that can affect and disturb the normal conditions that the water needs to cycle properly. These include deforestation, the combustion of fossil fuels, and of course, climate change, which is directly attributed to our constant attempts in development and urbanization.
What are invasive species? Invasive species are organisms that is not indigenous or native to a particular area. Invasive species can cause great economic and environmental harm to the new area. How do invasive species affect water? Invasive species effects on water can be both direct and indirect. Aquatic ecosystems seem at particular risk from invasive species because of threats to biodiversity and human needs for water resources. Examples of invasive species in water are algae, fishes like the Asian carp, and aquatic plants like the water hyacinth.
Example of invasive species in water. First is janitor fish. is one of invasive species. Naturally, this animal came from other country they bring in Philippines because to put in aquarium to clean. Janitor fish have no natural predator and it is a rapid breeder, means fast to grow its population. Next is clown knife fish. Believed to have gotten away into Laguna de Bay after a flooding brought about by Typhoon Andoy, this fish is currently unleashing destruction on the milkfish and tilapia industries of the lake. Next is giant snakehead. This fish is present in the Pantabangan Reservoir in Nueva Ecija, although its invasiveness is not yet very serious. The last is black chin tilapia. This was first observed in Laguna de Bay, but it eventually spread to the brackish waters, mixed fresh and salt waters of Bulacan. Its presence is not yet much of a concern.
Epigenetics. Epigenetics is the study of how your behaviors and environment can cause changes that affect the way your genes work. However, after thorough research, there is no presence of the involvement of epigenetics within water.